Well, hello, educator friends, and welcome back. I am so excited for this next season of the School of Life series. If you are just now turning in and you do not know who I am, my name is Braun. I'm a former Principal of the Year here in Indiana, but now I am the Vice President for School of Life. I'm also a professional development facilitator, national presenter and speaker, a forever educator, and I pride myself in being a positivity promoter as well. And that is exactly what the School Life series is for. So if you haven't been following along in the past year, we have brought so many incredible educators and just even better human beings on as guests for the first two seasons. And I have genuinely enjoyed every single one of those conversations and what they brought to each episode. So if you've not listened to the first three seasons, or excuse me, we're in season 3, the first 2 seasons, I highly encourage you to go back and do so. I have built the School Life series with a lot of intentionality and thought. All of the episodes, they are 45 minutes or less, because I know how busy you are. I know sometimes what the morning commute can be for you, or your lunch break, your prep period, whatever it may be, regardless of the position that you are in education. You've got just little bits of time. And so that's what this is for. It's really PD on your own, PD on your own time that you can plug in, listen to, watch during those little bits of time. So they can be viewed, they can be listened to, they can be found on multiple platforms. And like I said, they are for you. You don't have to be a principal or a leader. You don't have to be a teacher. You can be anything in education. You're going to find something on the School Life series. So every single guest that we have on is thoughtfully chosen, and they bring a unique perspective and an insane amount of expertise and just practical solutions and real life obstacles that they are facing and they have faced, they've overcome, and they want to share. They want to share their stories with you. They want to share these strategies with you. And every single conversation, like I said, it's just been fun. It's been unique, but it's brought so much joy to myself, so much joy to the education world. And season 3 is no different than that. So we are going to continue to bring on educational experts all across the country who are making education the better place to be. They're going to make you a better educator, but they're also going to make you a better person. So with that, I am titling season 3 Real Educators, Real Stories, and Real Strategies, because you don't need more fluff. You don't need more theory. You don't need more curriculum. You need real strategies that you can implement tomorrow from real educators who have lived it, have walked it, and can say, this worked for me. So we have guests lined up from every single corner of the United States with expertise in so many different areas. We've got leadership experts, we've got math experts, student engagement, reading, writing, and more. I can't wait to share it with you all. One thing that they all have in common is that they are truly special humans with big hearts, big educator hearts, who are just passionate about helping others, and they're ready to help you. So on this introduction, I also just want to share a little bit. I love the opportunity to pour into you, just like all of our guests do. So I want to share a couple strategies with you. These work regardless of your role, regardless of your time in the school year, regardless of the students that you serve, where you serve. If you implement any of these 3 or all of these 3, you are going to be a better educator. You're going to see better results, more success. And so I'm just going to quickly share 3 that are really my favorites. I will say that. Number 1 is greet them at the door. Whether you're a teacher or you're an administrator, greet your students the very first possible point that you can. So if you're a teacher and that's your classroom door, before they step foot into that doorway, you should be on the outside greeting them. High five, handshake, hug, but greet them by name. Let them know that you're happy they're there that day, that you love them, and you cannot wait to get started the day, to learn with them today, to have fun with them, to learn more about them, to share more about yourself, all of those things. And if you're a principal, then get outside the building, get outside your campus, greet your students before they even step foot into your building. So maybe that's the car rider line for you. For me, it was at the bus line. So when students got off the bus, I was right there. I gave them a high five, a handshake, a fist bump, and I greeted every single student before they even stepped through the doors of our school. So what does this do? One, it shows your students that you care about them and you love them. That's enough for me. Two, it builds relationships, it builds rapport with them. But three, it also allows you to check the temperature. And I don't mean with a thermometer, but it allows you to check the temperature of your students before they walk in the door. So if you're a classroom teacher, you don't have to wait till 9:30 when you see a book or a chair fly across your classroom to know that, hey, I've got a mad student. If you start doing this, you might see a student walk in with their head down, they're angry, veins are popping, and you can start right there and say, hold on, what is wrong? We need to talk. You may not realize that if you don't greet them at the door. For me as a principal, I can't tell you how many fights that I prevented by doing this. I saw two boys, I can remember something specific, two boys that were glaring at each other. They were kind of giving them a little bit what from 20 feet apart. And I saw it and I said, you, get over here now. And we had the conversation. And then they go into the building and the student behind them says, they were going to fight at recess today. We prevented it. We stopped it right there. We had the conversation that needed to happen to resolve the conflict right then and there. And this happened over and over, not even physical conflicts, but social conflicts, just peer conflict. If we saw it happening before they even stepped foot in the school door, then they were able to maximize their instruction time that day because the drama was over with. The conflict had been resolved. So that's number one, meet students at the door. There's so many benefits to this, and I cannot emphasize that enough. Number two is love them unconditionally. If you follow me at all, you know how passionate I am about loving students, making sure that your students know that you love them. Tell them that you love them. Show them that you love them. Be there for them. Be the champion for them as much as you possibly can. But what I mean by loving them unconditionally is this. Kids are kids. Your students are going to make mistakes. We all make mistakes, but kids are kids. Kids that make mistakes. For the history of the world, kids have made mistakes. Some of them are bigger than others. Some of them are small. But when a kid makes a mistake, let them know, hey, it is okay. This is what happened. This is the mistake you made. Let's learn from it. But tomorrow is a new day. Love them without conditions. And then number three is to share your story. And this is so important. You obviously, when I say share a story, I think of social media. I think we all do in this day and age. We think, oh, I need to get on X or Instagram and I need to share what's going on in my classroom. And that's not necessarily the case. If you're doing that, that's great. Those are great tools that you can use to share your story. It can be as simple as a weekly newsletter. As a principal, I would do newsletters to staff each week. I would do newsletters to the parents monthly. And then I would also record them. I'd put them out on YouTube and I would video record them similar to this so they could hear my voice, see my face, and I could share the story and all the amazing things that were happening in our school building every single day, right? Parents need to see that and hear that. Your community needs to see and hear that. That is sharing your story. So when things come up and crisis happens, because they're going to happen, and you've got to have difficult conversations, they know your face, they know who you are, they know everything amazing that has happened that led up to that moment with a difficult situation. And they trust you, they respect you, and they're okay with hearing that news, or it's as light as it possibly can, because they know you're taking care of their babies because you have shared your story and what is happening all year long up to that point. Another way that you can share your story is in opportunities in your everyday life, right? When you're at Walmart and you're at the grocery store and you hear someone talking ill about another teacher in your school, or they say something negative about your school in general, take that opportunity to stand up and say, hey, now let me tell you about that teacher, or let me tell you about all the amazing things that are happening in your school. You know what I'm talking about. It could be at the ballpark or at a basketball game. You hear people talking. Be an upstander, not a bystander, and say, let me tell you the facts. Let me tell you about this story. Because when you do that, others around you do that. So every chance that you get, share your story of all the great things that are happening in your classroom, all the great things that are happening in your school, because your parents, your students, your community, they deserve to hear all of these great things. So we're kind of going in threes. Our we are in season 3. We're calling it Real Educators, Real Stories, Real Strategies. And today I provided you with 3 of my favorite strategies for your success. So take 1, take 2, take all 3. It is up to you. That's my introduction to season 3. We've got our first episode dropping right after this introduction with Emily Pascal, former elementary principal, now secondary career center leader. She has an amazing story. She's got a huge heart for kids and for education, and I can't wait for you to hear from Emily on episode 1. So right after this introduction, be ready. Episode 1 is coming. Listen to it. Give Emily a follow. Give us feedback. If you have somebody that you would like to see on the School Life series, or if you're going through something in your school year, you're like, I need help, I need support, reach out and we will find somebody that can support you, because chances are if you're going through it, then others are going through it. So we want to provide support for that specific topic. So if you got a topic out there, reach out to me, or you can even comment just on the podcast episodes and I will see those. And we'll find somebody that can support you and support other educators that are going through the same thing. So that's it for my introduction. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to the School Life series. In the first 2 seasons, I promise you that season 3 is going to be even better than seasons 1 and 2. And I can't wait for you to see all of it. I can't wait for you to meet these incredible guests that we kept coming on and hearing what they have to share with you. So I hope that your school year is going great. It is going to continue to get better. And until we meet again, be great today.